This is the all too brief story of children, mostly boys, from around 1910. They worked the streets of most cities selling newspapers. They drank, they smoked, they cussed, and they knew where every brothel in the city was located. And they sold newspapers for a few pennies from 7 in the morning till 10 at night. These children were called newsies. They bought newspapers from a wholesaler, 50 papers for 50 cents. Then they ran up streets and down boulevards. They went left, they went right to get to their favorite spot, their favorite street, their favorite hotel, their favorite bar. They peddled their papers and directed gentlemen to houses of ill repute for a quarter. And any newspapers they couldn't sell, that was their problem. In 1910, in New York City alone, there were about 10,000 newsies. It was a tough business. A 3-foot snowfall made hustling newspapers impossible. But a good, bloody, sordid murder was a financial godsend. A lot of these newspaper boys were homeless. However, some worked to add a few pennies to the weekly finances of their family. In the end, their only real companionship was other newsies. There were newspaper girls, of course. There just wasn't very many of them. On the left-hand side, you have Bessie and Bessie. On the right is Alice. Supposedly, Alice could swear like a sailor. Newspaper boys were considered independent contractors, so any child labor laws that existed at that time simply didn't apply, which was fine for publishers like Hearst and Pulitzer. From New York to Los Angeles, from Detroit to New Orleans, newspaper boys were the most cost-efficient way to get the news to the public. Unfortunately, newspaper boys were not the beneficiary of any great financial reward, except for a few pennies a day or a couple bucks a week.